All right, wonderful people, welcome to a new video. So today we are making a no knead chocolate babka. So please watch till the end, okay? So I've listed all the ingredients in the caption. So to some warm water, add yeast and sugar. Mix that until it is fully dissolved, okay? So we're going to cover this for about 5 minutes until it becomes frothy on top. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. And yeah, after that, we're going to go on to making our dough. So have you ever heard of a chocolate babka? A chocolate babka is basically a sweet bread. So we use a kind of enriched dough to make it. And it typically has lots and lots of different types of delicious filling inside. It's traditionally made with a kind of brioche dough, but I'm going to show you how to make it using a no-knead method. Then we're also going to move on to some other more complicated versions. So stick with me on this journey, okay? Okay, so let's get onto the dough. So in this measuring cup, I have some flour, sugar, and salt. So I'm going to add that to my bowl and give it a really good mix. And then I'm going to make it well in the center. So to the center, add your yeast mixture. Also add some warm milk, a teaspoon of vanilla essence, an egg, and some soft, almost melted butter. Now, you don't want to melt your butter completely so that your dough doesn't become overly sticky. Okay, so you want the butter to still have some form to it, but it should be really, really, really soft. So while you're watching this video, do me a favor and click the like button and the subscribe button, the notifications button, all the buttons. Please click all the buttons and help me grow on YouTube as a content creator. Thank you so much. Okay, so you are going to mix until you get a cohesive dough. I took out my fork and just mixed it with my hands until everything came together. So once your dough has come together after mixing it, you're going to have a really soft, sticky dough. I just continue to fold it over itself until the dough smoothened out really well. Now, this will just help to build the gluten in the dough. Since we are not going to be kneading it, just repeat the motion a couple of times, as you can see. And yeah, you're going to have a really nice, smooth dough. So just spray some oil in the bowl and on top of the dough. I'm going to cover it and let it rest for about 45 to 60 minutes or until the dough is doubled in size. I'm going to keep it in a warm place so that it can rise really quickly. Depending on the temperature in your room or in your house, it may take a little bit longer. So just keep an eye on it and make sure that it doesn't overproof. So while we wait for the dough to rise, let's make the filling for the babka. Okay, so like I mentioned before, I'm going to be showing you some really simple recipes and some difficult ones, but everything is going to be delicious. So to a saucepan, add some butter. I also have a mixture of cocoa powder, powdered sugar, and salt in here. I'm just saving myself some extra dishes to wash. And add to the pan some chopped chocolate chips. You could use some chocolate chips or a chocolate bar, which I just chopped into little pieces. I added some vanilla and I'm going to melt that over medium heat until everything is well combined and all the chocolate is melted. I believe I just transferred that into a small container, or you could just leave it in the pan and let it cool down. Once it cools down, it's going to solidify a little bit. You want this mixture to be soft and spreadable but not runny, because we are going to spread into our babka and we don't want it spilling out. Okay, so keep that. You could put it in the fridge. I kept mine in the fridge for about 10 to 20 minutes just so that it could get a bit more solid, but not rock hard. Okay, because the chocolate is going to go cold, the butter is going to go cold. It's going to be really difficult to spread it. Okay, so now line a 9x4 baking pan or loaf pan with some parchment paper, and it looks like our dough is ready. So I just performed a basic test to see if the dough was proofed. If you press it with your finger, it should spring back, but it should also leave a slight indentation in the dough. That shows you that the dough is ready. My dough was rested for about an hour. So now I'm just going to get it out of the bowl and I'm going to roll it up into a large rectangle ready to be filled with the chocolate mixture we made earlier. So roll out your dough into a nice big rectangle. I'll see if I can put the dimensions in the caption. Actually, I didn't use any dimensions because it's just a rectangle basically. And roll it out as thinly as you can, but not too thin, about half an inch thin. And then put the filling in it, just spread it out. I left about an inch of space on the dough, just on the short side, so that it would help with sealing the dough. So I left about an inch of space at the end so that I could seal the dough after wrapping. Now I'm just going to spread some chocolate chips on it. I didn't have any measurements for this just until I felt like it was enough. So that's left to you to add as many chocolate chips as you want. You could also add some other things in it. You could add some nuts, some coconut flakes, some cinnamon. Yeah, you do you. Add as many things as you want in it, but we're just going to make this very simple. So chocolate on chocolate, and roll it into a tight log and then seal it at the other end. So you want to roll from the short side, not from the long side, because we want it to fit into our pan. Okay. Once your dough is all nicely rolled up and sealed, I just transfer the dough onto a chopping board and then I'm going to cut it in two. Now you want a really sharp knife for this. Okay, so you can see I think I'm using like I don't know what it is, a bread knife, but that's like the sharpest knife I have in my house. You don't want to mess with that knife. So get a really sharp knife, cut your dough into lengthwise. Okay, cut it into lengthwise, and then I'm going to show you how to make the signature Babka shape. So you want to just separate the two halves of your dough and kind of make it into like an X shape. So lay one flat facing up. You want the filling side facing up, and lay the other side on top of it, as you can see, and then just twist it like kind of twisting the dough around, and then seal it on the edges, and then do the same for the other side as well. And then after we do that, we're just going to transfer it into the loaf pan, and then we are going to let it rest and rise, and do the second rise, which is mostly typical for bread. You need to let it rise twice, and then it will be ready to be baked. Yeah, so I covered this up and put it in a one place to rise for about another 30 to 45 minutes. It can be difficult to know if it's well risen, but you can also perform the poke test on this, give it a little touch and see if it springs back a little, but if the indentation stays on your dough. Now I'm just going to brush it with a little bit of egg wash and then straight into the oven it goes. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees and I'm going to bake this for about 30 minutes. Okay, so after 30 minutes, check if it is, check with a thermometer the internal temperature. Okay, so you want to check the internal temperature of your bread. It should reach about 190 Fahrenheit. If it doesn't, you can tent the top of the bread with foil and put it back in the oven and until it reaches the correct internal temperature before bringing it out. Now I'm just going to brush the top with a very simple sugar syrup, basically just water and sugar. And I think I added a little bit of vanilla extract in that as well. So once it comes out of the oven, still hot, just brush it with a little bit of sugar syrup. This will help to preserve it and also give it a very nice shine on the top. And yes, that's all she wrote. Now we are going to cut it and eat it. Now you want to let it rest in the pan for at least 15 minutes and then bring it out to cool completely on a wire rack. But I had people standing behind me. They needed to eat it hot. So I didn't wait. I just waited for it to cool down 15 minutes and then we cut into it and it was gone in a split second. Babkas typically last about 2 days in an airtight container. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Next week, we are going to be doing, I think, a strawberry balsamic babka. So please stick around and subscribe to my channel, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye.